People, how's everybody doing? Yay, it's loading up YouTube comment. Give me just a moment here, folks. While I get things set up. I gotta get that chat room thing set up. Click this button. Watch the spinny circle. Well, everything was working fine just a minute ago. Oh, well, that's deciding to work. Oh, there it goes. Of course. I'm going to start doing stuff. All right. And waiting for this to load up. Oh, that loaded up much quicker. Pop out chat. Have that. Hit that button. Move this where I can see it better. All right. Here we go. So today I am inking, and I'm gonna try to get his last name right here. Eduardo Samentiego. Samentiego? I think that's how it's pronounced. Although it could be Samentiego, but I think it's a soft G. I don't know. All right. Anyways, Eduardo was he is a dreamer who was recently, as of like a few weeks ago, deported to Mexico because he forgot his wallet. This was all over $27.75. He was tortured in prison. He was put in a solitary confinement for 3 weeks, which is torture. People are treated more fairly in Iranian jails than that. And then he was sent off to Mexico, a country he doesn't even know. All because of $27.75. When Trump brags about ICE, that is what he's bragging about. Because ICE doesn't go after, violent gang members. ICE goes after parents. They go after students. They go after basically citizens. Now, Eduardo was not a citizen because he was a dreamer, but he was a member of society, so therefore we should find a way to have made him a citizen. Not to torture him, send him to a country he doesn't know, at the need of physical and mental anguish. So basically, if you want to know the details, he flew to South Carolina, where he was detained because he was arrested in October in Georgia after forgetting his wallet and failing to pay $27.75 in cab fare. So he was sent to a mental health hospital, um, where after over 100 days of detention, was put into voluntary departure. That includes 3 weeks of solitary confinement. Now, I don't have the figures in front of me, but, like, solitary confinement is not a punishment that should be weeks. Like, after a day, it's like, doing mental harm to whoever is put into solitary confinement. And I know that's what we do in our country. We're in a carceral state that tortures prisoners. And just because I understand that doesn't mean it's right. Let's see here. Not only that, he was denied visitation rights before he was deported. It's just an absolutely horrific story. And this is just indicative of what's being done in our name. I mean, his what was it? I mean, Eduardo's family was trying to get to get him treatment in Mexico when he arrives for the torture that he received here. Hey, son of a red shirt. They're quite frankly, I mean, you're being very optimistic. And I appreciate your optimism, but yeah, it's not that much more complicated of a story. We have basically a rogue police agency called ICE that goes around and arresting fathers at schools. They you know in front of in front of the whole school, really, tearing families apart. They wait for people at courthouses to arrest them. This happened. I mean, he just got deported weeks ago. The whole he was arrested in October over this. Basically, ICE has been going after activists, and because Eduardo is an activist, he made himself a target. Just like I'm probably making myself a target, even though I am a, you know, I was born here. Makes me a much tougher target for groups like ICE to go after. But I have been gone after by the local police because we don't have a functioning police force. We have a bunch of thin-skinned thugs. Running around, shooting innocent people. Arresting people. Or get the hair done. Yeah, no, he was a dreamer, which means that he came over as a child, um, which kind of changes the things completely. But he was still a member of society. That's the thing about dreamers. They grew up here. They're basically Americans in everything but name, or yeah. And the thing is putting somebody into having an arrest warrant for not paying $27 and um, 75 cents, even if he isn't a legal citizen, is it violated his Fourth Amendment rights. If the police then checked to see if he was a citizen or not. That wasn't what the case is. That's not their job. To make sure that he doesn't have a record. Yeah, the special name is Dreamers. it's something that Barack Obama couldn't get past, and I'm mad that the Democrats didn't try harder. But that's just the fact that we have one party that is absolutely evil, and the other party is completely culpable of letting the evil continue without fighting back very well. This is beautifully represented by Chuck Schumer, who and I'm like getting her name, but anyway, she was a conservative Democrat. Said, "Oh, Chuck Schumer never tried to force me to make a vote that I didn't want to," and it's like, well, that's Chuck Schumer's problem. Chuck Schumer's not a very good negotiator. I mean, I got my issues with Nancy Pelosi, but at least she's a more effective leader than Chuck Schumer is. But I mean, fortunately, we do have people in Congress like Jim McGovern and oh, I have it right in front of me. Where did his name go? Uh, oh, I just lost it. Oh, there we go. Henry Johnson of Georgia's 4th Congressional District. And Jim McGovern of Massachusetts' 2nd, I believe. Oh, no, that just... No, it doesn't say which district, but I'm pretty sure it's 2nd. I'm in the 1st Congressional District of Massachusetts, which gives me Ed Markey, who I am not a particular fan of. I'm sorry, not Ed Markey. He's my senator. Richard Neal. Problem trying to do this while I'm drawing is I don't have notes in front of me. I try not to elevate politicians too much because I want to be in an adversarial position with them. Even if it's somebody that I agree with, like a Jim McGovern, who I do have a lot of respect for, I still want to be adversarial to because, that way I am an outside influence pushing him for the right things. But, like I said, you can still respect people that you are adversarial towards. And so that's why I'm giving Jim McGovern and Henry Johnson a shout out for working on this because they are on the right side. They are doing stuff, and I would like to see more people do stuff like that. I don't imagine Richard Neal doing anything. Ed Markey, my senator, probably would. Same thing with Elizabeth Warren. But you got to push these people. And I'm quite certain that's true in Canada as well. All right. Let's ditch that. Doesn't look too bad. I don't know what I'm doing with the cross-hatching. We'll just build it up a little bit more. Hello, cat. All right. I think what we need to do... start in on this. Correct me if I'm wrong, But isn't like a lot of people in the Liberal Party, like Justin Trudeau, very close to people on like the Bay Street um, execs? Is that like your Wall Street, if I remember correctly? And they do a bit of fundraising off that, and it's a very similar dynamic to what Chuck Schumer does. But he's mostly has the. Let's see here. We're going to have a little bit of shadow in here. Oh, everything's good with C Kim. We talked a lot yesterday. He's back at school. Um no, he's back at school dealing with all that stuff. He was trying to do something nice for my daughter's birthday yesterday. Didn't quite work out because he's up there in Canada with you. But I greatly appreciate it. It means a lot to me. It really does. Hey, that line's not right. Eraser. But you have three major parties in Canada, right? You have the Conservatives, the Liberals, and the NDP, if I remember correctly. So does all three parties have connections to Bay Street? And I know the NDP is not really that much of a power, but I completely understand. Birthday wishes are great. She lit up whenever I told her that she was getting birthday wishes from Canada yesterday. I'll let her know that she's getting more birthday wishes from Canada from you. Okay, let's go back into this. Eraser tool. I don't love this line right here, so let's shorten it. To get her to a different middle school. But it's okay. This is the first time I'm hearing that NDP list. I know listening to Oppo, it's two. However, that being said, it's I will absolutely not. I struggle to keep up with American politics, so um, I follow a little bit of Canadian politics just to understand like different paradigms, different ideas. Um, because like sometimes there's good ideas from other places. Sometimes we have good ideas. And then also we have there we go. Just a second here. Sometimes you think you're done. Sometimes I usually like wait a day before I say it's necessarily done, but not necessarily for this. I think we're about done here. Thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for who's watching later. It really does mean a lot to me whenever people watch it. Uh, I hope I wasn't too angry. I had mentioned in the comments, I'm going to mention right now, Pioneer Valley Workers Center is an organization that Eduardo had worked for, that they've done a great job kind of getting his story out there, uh, representing them. I'll tell them a little bit later because I have a contact there, and tell her about the. Probably that's not going to happen. I'm absolutely livid about this whole ordeal. But anywho, um, yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, but yeah, no. I do have a lot of work to get done with Illustrator. So I do need to jump. But like I said, check out Pioneer Valley Workers Center. I have a link in the description already